Hello dear students, welcome to Pen and Paper Chemistry on YouTube.
Hello my dear students, welcome to Pen and Paper Chemistry on YouTube, where we continue with our topic of carbon and its compounds, and this is part 6 in the series of videos where we have so far dealt with what are the unique properties of carbon, what type of bonds are formed by carbon, and many other aspects have been covered in the first 5 videos of this topic, and I would strongly advise you to go through them before we start with the topic of the day, IUPAC system of nomenclature, or what you would commonly hear as the IUPAC system of nomenclature. And before you do go ahead with this video, please make sure that you have your pen and notebook ready so that you can take down notes for offline reference. It will be helpful and you will see tremendous improvement in yourself if you attend this or you watch this video as you would in a classroom. When we start with naming organic compounds, first of all, we need to understand why do we have a formal system of naming organic compounds. So as you can see, I have listed that there were compounds which were named either according to their source, according to the person who discovered them, or based on their properties. For example, methane is found in marshy areas and was known as marsh gas. Formic acid, yes, it's the acid which goes into our skin when we get bitten by an ant. So it is found in the stings of red ants because formica means ant. Oxalic acid, it is found or isolated from the flowers of genus Oxalis. Citric acid is found in citrus fruits, for example, lemon, orange, etc. Now imagine if you have to remember the names of around 20 million organic compounds like this, based on random things, either the source, the property, the behavior, etc. Would you be able to do that? Yes, very tough. So we devised a formal system of naming organic compounds, and that is called as the IUPAC system of nomenclature. I for international, U for union of, P for pure, A for applied chemistry. What is this? This is like a group of people, very well qualified though, group of people, chemists, scientists, who come together to decide how we are going to name and standardize the chemical compounds, their measurement and other data. What values are we going to use when you study chemistry, not just as a subject, but when you go on to your higher discussions, when you make new discoveries, when you find some new compounds. So how are you going to refer to them? So this is like the code that we have to follow in the scientific world when it comes to anything related to chemistry. So that is what IUPAC stands for. So this is the authority which gives you the name of how to name any organic, inorganic compound. What is the standard unit that I am going to take? So for example, if you recall, we have done the unified mass, which was earlier called as the atomic mass unit. So that is also defined by IUPAC. IUPAC. Let us look at the name over here. Dr. Miss Anita Kumari Saxena. Now, this is just a random name that I have taken, but this name tells me a lot of things about the person. So, first of all, the person is a doctor. Miss means it's a female. Anita is, I am assuming, would be how she would be known most popularly as amongst her friends, amongst her colleagues, and in her family. Kumari looks like a family name, and Saxena is the family name. So if you see, this name tells me a lot about the person. Now, what if I told you the trick to identify each of the 20 million organic compounds in such an easy way? So, if you could name any organic compound given to you or which you might discover later on in a specific pattern, following the rules laid down by the IUPAC system of nomenclature. Let us look at have a closer look at the name of this. So Anita. Let's focus on Anita. That's the name which would be most popular for this person. So if you have Anita Kumari Saxena in your class, most probably you would be calling or you would be knowing her as Anita rather than Kumari Saxena and so on. So how do we give the first part of this name? Now the first part of this name, Dr. Miss, I am not including that. What is most important is the popular name by which this person is known, or what in chemistry is known as the word root. What does the word root tell me? It tells me the number of carbon atoms in the longest, so please remember over here the longest continuous chain of the organic compound. That's very, very important. The longest continuous chain. This is very important because you will come across compounds with a lot of branches as well. I don't want to scare you. Let's go step by step. So we have here tabulated the name and the word root. Sorry, the number of carbon atoms and the word root corresponding to it. So if I have only one carbon atom in an organic compound, the word root that I'm going to use is meth. Say it along with me, meth. One carbon atom is meth. Two is eth, E-T-H. Yes, this is not complete. There will be more additions coming along with it. Prop. Remember when we go on to the stage, that is for 3 carbon atoms. So all the extra material that we use, that is a prop. 3 carbon atoms. Prop. Say it along with me. C4. Buta. C4. Bute. Yes. Prima facie it looks like but. Yes. In English it will say, but you remember, we are going to attach it to some other part as well. So let's, pronounce it the way that we are going to use it as a name. So 4 carbon atoms in the chain. So if supposing I have a compound which is being depicted like this, 4 carbon atoms. Now if you are not able to understand this structure, better go back to the previous videos where I have taught you what does this depict. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 carbon atoms in the longest continuous chain, hence bute. What is the word? Bute. Yes. Now 5 carbon atoms. Now from 5 carbon atoms, remembering the word root becomes very easy because this is very much related to how you do in mathematics. A 5-sided figure. What do you call a 5-sided figure as? Yes, it's called as a pentagon. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Pentagon. So from 5 becomes pent or penta. P-E-N-T. Six-sided figure. What is a six-sided figure known as? Yes, hex or hexagon. So from that we get hex. So tell me once again, one carbon atom, meth, two, eth, three, prop, four, but, five, pent, six, hex. Okay. Close your eyes and quiz yourself. What would be the word root for the number of carbons depicted? Let's go ahead and add more words to our learning. So 7, heptagon, so it's hept. 8, octopus. Remember, octopus has 8 legs or 8 limbs. So octagon. So from 8 we have oct. 9, nona. Non. 10, deck. 11, undeck. U-N-D-E-C. Un means 1. So 1 added to 10. 1 added to 10 gives me 11. Yes? Dodeck stands for 12 carbon atoms. Dodeck. Do is 2 added to 10 gives me 12. So that makes the naming a compound with up to 12 carbon atoms very easy. There are more beyond it, but we are not worried about them at present. In fact, even till 12 you might not do up till your grade 10, but good to know. So let's start again. Should I quiz you? Should I ask you? Close your eyes and tell me. So what would be the word root for a compound with 1 carbon atom? Meth, 3 carbon atoms. Prop, 5 carbon atoms. Pent, 7 carbon atoms. Think. Yes, it's hept. Well done. 9 carbon atoms. Non, very good. Okay, 2 carbon atoms. Eth, yes. Sometimes it's the eth and the prop which is a bit tricky, but I'm sure you will get it. 4 carbon atoms. But, well done. 8 carbon atoms. Oh yes, I guessed. I knew you would say hex because you thought I'm going to go in that series. So C8, yes, it's oct. C10, deck. C6, hex. Well done. So you can quiz your classmates in this very way in order to get a stronghold, in order to remember it better. Now that we know how to give this title, this name, word root, the most important part of the name of an organic compound, that is Anita, is done. Okay, so this part is taken care of. So that's the word root. Now we come to the next aspect of it, that is Kumari. Let's go ahead. Now, Kumari, if you see, it is being added after the word root. Being added after is called suffix. So if you see, there are 2 suffixes over here. One is Kumari and then after that is Saxena. So this is called as primary suffix. P-R-I-M-A-R-Y. Primary suffix. And Saxena would be called as the secondary suffix. Right? So what comes immediately after the word root is the primary suffix, and that is what we are going to deal with next. Now, what does the primary suffix do? It tells me the nature of the carbon chain. That means whether my carbon chain has only got single bonds or my carbon chain has at least 1 double bond, or my carbon chain has triple bonds. So primary suffix helps me to identify that. If the chain has got only single bonds, if my compound has got only single bonds between the carbon atoms, I'm not putting the hydrogens, the dashes mean the hydrogen. I hope you will understand that. So if you see, there is no double or triple bond in the chain. Hence, this compound would be an ane. It's a saturated compound. And what's a saturated compound? A compound in which there are only single bonds in the main chain would be called as a saturated compound. It's fully satisfied. It's not hungry for more. All its bonds are being taken care of by single lines over here, by single dashes. Now you don't write that as an answer. If you are asked, what is a saturated compound? A compound which has only single bonds between the carbon atoms. Now the word over here is in the main chain. You can add over here between the carbon atoms, because we can have a chain where there is double bond between the carbon and the oxygen. So for example, if I have this compound CH3 here, so look at this compound. Now, is this saturated or not? Yes, this is very much saturated because the double bond is between the carbon and the oxygen. It's not in the carbon chain. Look carefully. My carbon chain 1, 2, 3 main carbon chain has only got single bonds. So yes, this compound is satisfied or it is saturated, right? All the bonds of carbon are single bonds between each other. I'm not talking about the double bond with any other heteroatom. What's a heteroatom? Any atom other than carbon and hydrogen in the organic compound would be considered as a heteroatom. So if you see this compound, there are only single bonds between the carbon atoms. Hence, this compound would be categorized as ane. Now, let us combine our learning in the previous slide where we talked about the word root and what we have learned so far. Now, look at the number of carbon atoms in this chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 carbon atoms. Can you tell me the word root? Well done. So it's pent. Now let's come to the primary suffix. Now look at the nature of the carbon chain. Yes, it is fully satisfied. So I will add into it. Now, how do we form the name? We are going to join the two parts and I have the name of the compound as pentane. Pentane. It's one word now. So you see how interesting it is? I join it piece by piece. I join it or I connect them step by step and I have the name of the organic compound. What are these dashes for those who haven't gone through the previous video? This is hydrogen over here. Can you write the condensed formula for this compound? Remember, we did skeletal formula, we did condensed formula in the previous video. Yes, you condense it. CH3, CH2, 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 CH3. Or you could also write it as CH3. How many CH2s are there? 1, 2, 3. So I can also write it as CH2 whole thrice and then CH3. Got it? Getting a hang of it? Okay, let's go ahead with the next here. What if there is even a single double bond in the main chain? Then what? Now, as soon as even a single double bond comes in the chain, it no longer remains an ane. Now what does it become? Ene. Double bond in the main chain between the carbon atoms. So for example, let us take the case of this compound. So now how many hydrogens am I going to put on the carbon atom? Look carefully. Carbon can form 4 bonds. So 1, 2, it has already formed 4 bonds. So 3 and 4. Now look at this carbon atom, 1, 2, 3. Now how many more bonds can it form? It can form only 1. Look at the last carbon atom. How many bonds is it already forming? 1. So how many more bonds can it form? 1, 2 and 3. Yes. So this is how you complete the formula. Now look at this compound. It has got a double bond between the carbon atoms. Even one double bond between the carbon atoms, it no longer remains an ane and it acquires a new name and it is called ene. So now try naming this compound. See how many carbon atoms are there? 1, 2 and 3. So what will be the word root? 3 carbon atoms. Look carefully. 3 carbon atoms. Prop. Right? So prop. And then what do I add to it? What will be my primary suffix over here? It's got a double bond. So ene. Propene. So yes, propene for now. We will also add something to this later on. So for now, just understand that this is propene. Question. CH3, C double bond O, CH3. Is this compound an ane or an ene? Look carefully. Yes, well done. It's an ane. Why an ane? Because the double bond is between carbon and oxygen. It's not between the carbon atoms. Hence, it's a saturated compound. Right? Are you noting these down? Are you practicing along with me? It will become very easy. Now come to triple bond. So if my carbon chain gets even one triple bond between the carbon atoms. Yes, let's add the hydrogen. Let's add the hydrogen. 1, 2, 3. Now, do I add any hydrogen to this carbon atom? Or no, we don't. Why don't we? Look carefully. How many bonds is this carbon already forming? 1, 2, 3 and 4. How many bonds can it form? It can form only 4 and it is already forming 4. So no hydrogens to be attached to this carbon atom. Now the challenge is to name this compound, to name this organic compound according to the IUPAC. Look at the number of carbon atoms. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So 3 carbon atoms. Again, word root, prop. Now look at the nature of the bonds. Yes, there is a single bond, but there is a triple bond. So as soon as triple bond comes into the picture, the primary suffix changes to "-ine", prop-ine. Now put them together and we have the name of the compound as propyne. Interesting? Liking it? So now that you know about compounds where there is a double or triple bond in the main chain between the carbon atoms, which are respectively known as ene or ine, we can give a specific name to this category of compounds and they are known as, yes, you saw it earlier. Can you name them? Yes, they are known as unsaturated compounds. Compounds wherein the four valencies of carbon are not satisfied by single bonds. There could be some unsatisfaction. You know, that unsatisfaction changes the behavior of this compound and makes it more reactive as well, because carbon likes to keep just one friendship with each other atom. So that is why what will happen is, this will later on when we study organic chemistry, we notice that this double bond tries to break up and change into a single bond, what we will call as addition reactions. Yes, I am giving you a trailer of the things to come. Don't get worried about what will happen later on. Just go slowly through these videos. Do them with me. Trust me, do them with me and you will be very, very confident in this topic. And also, do not get disheartened. There is no scope for being sad on this channel, because if you don't understand this topic the first time, you are not alone. I never understood this topic even after doing 3 times. So don't worry. That is the reason I have taken it as a mission to make it easy for you all. So keep going with me. Go through the video again, write it down, and still if you don't understand, help your classmates, help your friends. Teach them in the same way that I am teaching you over here, and you will be good to go. So now that you know ane, ene and ine, and you know the word root, you're already a scientist. You're already a chemist, and you will pause the video now and try naming these compounds. But before you do that, make sure that you are very, very confident with the word root. So let's test you again. 1 carbon atom, meth. 5 carbon atoms, pent. 7 carbon atoms, hept. 4 carbon atoms, but. 9 carbon atoms, non. 2 carbon atoms, 2 carbon atoms. Yes, eighth. 3 carbon atoms. Think again. Prop. Well done. 8 carbon atoms. 8. Remember? Which animal has 8 legs? Yes, octa. Right. So let's try and name these compounds. Go ahead. Try doing. Now, if I were to expand this compound, I will write it like this. You see? So, I have expanded, I have laid out the structure for you. The structural formula I have written. So, look at it and tell me the name of this compound. Is this a structural formula I have written? Go back to the videos that we have done. Tell me, is this a structural formula? Remember? How do we write the structural formula? Yes. So what I have drawn is called as the, well done. It's a display formula where you display the bonds which are there between the atoms. So go ahead. Name the compound. Pause the video. Trust me, the confidence that you will get, and you need not write the display formula for every step. Now, you have been promoted to chemist grade 1 after having learned so much of chemistry so far. So try naming these compounds without expanding them, without displaying the bonds. You want to pause the video? You want to resume after some time? Good to do that. Yes, I am waiting for you to do the question. So I will probably give you a yes. I am going to help you recall what we've done earlier by showing you the slides. So, boss, Chemist Grade 1, Level 1. Make a note of these structures. Let's discuss the answers in the next video. And in the next video, I will also introduce something which is called as alkyl to you. So don't miss out on that video. Don't forget to answer these questions and come back for discussing the names of these compounds. See you in the next video. Till then, don't worry. Be happy. You are already at level 1 of IUPAC nomenclature. See you soon. The only mission of this channel is to make learning chemistry easy and fun for all you students. With the help of the periodic table, the flow charts, the graphs, diagrams, dealing with numericals, how to deal with numericals, and this can only happen when you keep a pen and notebook ready so that you can also take down notes for offline reference. There is no subscription to join the channel. There is no payment at all. Only request is to help spread a word about the channel by sharing it with friends, classmates, juniors, seniors, so that chemistry can be easy and fun for one and all. See you in the next video.